Hey guys, Dim Gaming here, and it's that time again. Let's talk some more Resident Evil 3 Remake. Specifically, the weapons that we got to get our hands on in the demo that came out recently. This was our first chance to actually get our hands on a piece of the game and actually get to use some of the weapons and see how they function, etc. But I've waffled on too much. Let's jump into the first two weapons I'm going to go over. And these weapons are the two that Jill starts off with. First off, let's talk about the survival knife. It's a survival knife from Resident Evil 2 Remake, and what's interesting, it's the only knife in the game that I know of. I don't think you can pick up others like you could in Resident Evil 2 Remake. However, this one doesn't have durability, and it's actually a normal item instead of a defense item. What's interesting as well is you can stab normally how you could in Resident Evil 2 Remake, or if you do a perfect dodge, you can activate a counter, as you can see in this footage here, which makes it really useful on enemies such as Nemesis, for example, if you want to do a bunch of damage really quickly. It can also stun enemies by the looks of things when you do the counter, giving you ample time to get away. Now let's move on to Jill's pistol, which is actually a Glock 19 Gen 1. I did mention in another breakdown video it was either a 19 or a 17, but it's actually confirmed that it is a Gen 1 Glock. You can tell this by the stippling on the grip. The fact that it's stippled all the way around and there's no rail at the front means that it's the Gen 1 model. Initially, I was kind of disappointed that they chose a Glock, however, it kind of does make sense. Obviously, in Code Veronica, which is set a couple of months after Resident Evil 2 and 3, Chris has access to a Glock, and he's also a STARS member, so that does mean that potentially Jill and the other STARS members could have had access to Glocks as well, so it's not that far-fetched. It seems to be quite a well-rounded pistol. Having quite a high capacity right out of the gate at 15 rounds is pretty decent. Also has a decent critical rate. I seemed to get critical headshots quite often, so that was pretty decent. It's also going to be highly customizable, which is pretty cool. We also did get to see our first new weapon attachment as well in the footage coming up right now. As you can see here, you can find a red dot sight to add to the top of the G19. At first I thought, okay, it's not really going to do much. However, in the crosshair, when you're not using the red dot sight, there is a bunch of space and the bullet can actually hit anywhere in that space. However, when you put the red dot sight on, it's definitely going to hit that red dot area, thus making the G19 a little bit more accurate. Now let's move on to the shotgun. In a previous video that I made, I mentioned that it's probably going to be the M3 shotgun, because that was the shotgun in the original Resident Evil 3, and as you can see here, it's confirmed that it is. However, the original one was slightly different, having a shorter barrel and a pistol grip instead of a longer barrel and a full stock. As you can see here, it says that it has 4 rounds. It has the same size magazine tube as it does in the original Resident Evil 3, however, that shotgun had 7 shots as standard. However, I do believe, like in Resident Evil 2 Remake, you're going to get a capacity upgrade which will probably make it have 7 to 8 shells, but there's nothing been confirmed. However, the reload doesn't take that long. This gun in the demo is a real showstopper. It's so easy to take out enemies with it. If you aim for the head on any zombie, it's guaranteed to kill them, if not blow their head clean off. So it's a very, very powerful shotgun. As you can see there, it just took out one of the Nemesis spawns in one shot. So very, very powerful. It's going to be very, very useful. Now let's move on to the M4, or more specifically the CQB-R assault rifle. Now essentially this is an M4A1 with a shorter barrel and a wrist rail on the front. Now originally it only looked like it was going to be Carlos that was using it, however Jill in the original game does start off with the assault rifle if you're playing it on normal, so it only made sense that she did get it. In the demo, the way you have to get it is you have to die and switch it to assisted, and it gives you the assault rifle. I'm not sure if that's how we're going to be able to get it on the full release, however that's how you get it in the demo. It was really, really fun running around with it. Obviously it's an M4 and it has a high capacity magazine. 32 rounds is no joke. you can fire a lot of rounds into a crowd of enemies or nemesis and deal a lot of damage quickly. So again, it's another showstopper. The M4 in the Resident Evil 3 remake demo seems to only have one fire mode, whereas the M4 in the original, you could switch fire modes. That's not going to be a problem for me as it's an M4, so it's going to be really fun hosing down hordes of zombies. Originally I thought the grip was going to be an attachment to control recoil that we were going to get, however you can see here that it does already have the grip on it, so I think the only attachment we're probably going to get on this is a red dot, as there's screenshots with Carlos having a red dot on his. But that again is yet to be confirmed. So that's the rundown of the weapons so far in the Resident Evil 3 remake demo. I was going to touch on the hand grenade, however there's nothing really fundamentally different with the hand grenades from Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 3 remake. The only difference is you can't actually use it as a defense item. But as always guys, let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comments below, and if you're new, please do subscribe and click that bell notification to be notified when I bring you new content. As always, this is Escaping Gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.